we have discussed about background of this chapter, that what this chapter is about. This chapter is about two differently abled people. Differently abled people means that they were not given all the qualities or all the, you can say, yes, okay, they were not able to walk. Okay, they were walking with the help of wheelchair, but still these people, they are example for all. How they are example for all, what they have done, and in which fields they are going to do, this we are going to read in this chapter. So let us start from, before you read the second paragraph. The two great men exchange thoughts on what it means to live life in a wheelchair and on how the so-called normal people react to the disabled. So in this chapter, he's saying, now through this interview, we will come to know about these two great men, Firdaus Kang as well as Stephen Hawking. And now they are telling through this chapter, when they are interviewed, that how people react when they say differently able. You know, this is common practice when one child who is not having all the capacities like a normal being, the other students, sometimes they make fun. Are these students who make fun of those weak children is right? No. It means that you don't know how to behave. This is not human quality, right? Is it a human quality to make fun of anyone? No, this is very wrong. Okay, and when this kind of child is making fun, this shows that that child is lacking the basic nature of goodness. That child is devoid any goodness. So where your sensibility lies in behaving in a proper manner. You should know how to act, how to react. Overreaction of anything is always bad. And overexcitement is also bad. When you overreact, shout in the class and do anything wrong. What is this? This shows your shallowness in behavior, that you don't know how to behave. If you will behave properly, if you will be poised means balanced one, then it ultimately will make you what? It will make you sensible man, and this will change your personality. When personality is changed, you can say strengths are increased. Strengths means your positive points are increased, right? Okay, so now let us read further. Cambridge was my metaphor for England. Yes, so what he is saying, that Cambridge was my metaphor. Metaphor means another name for England. Okay, when he is talking about Cambridge, it means because Cambridge is situated in England. Okay, and it was strange that when I left it had become altogether something else, because I had met Stephen Hawking there. And he said, when I talk about Cambridge, it means I'm going to England. Metaphor. Okay. So he is saying, but it was strange. It was really very strange when I left it. He said, but when I left that place, it changed me. How it changed me? Because he said that there was something else that changed me. Something else has changed me. Why? Because he said that I met Stephen Hawking there. Whom he met there? He met Stephen Hawking there. It was on a walking tour through Cambridge that the guide mentioned Stephen Hawking, who a man who is quite disabled now, though he is a worthy successor of Isaac Newton, whose chair he has at the university. So now what he is saying, it was on a walking tour through Cambridge. It means a guide came, you know, because it is a big university. The authorities had deputed one guide to take the interviewer from one place to another. He said that he will take you through university to where Stephen Hawking is working. Okay, so he said, when I was talking, naturally when two persons are moving in the corridor or in the university, they will talk about to whom they are going to meet. So he said, poor man, Stephen Hawking. What was the expression of that man, of that guide about Stephen Hawking? Was that he was a poor man, okay. So he said, poor man who is quite disabled. Who is quite disabled means who is not like any other normal human being, okay. And though he is worthy successor of to Isaac Newton, whose chair he has at the university. Worthy successor means who desired that position. because he is very intelligent. His worthy successor means from the category of Isaac Newton. Like Isaac Newton was very intelligent, same Stephen Hawking was very intelligent, and but he is moving on a wheelchair. Okay, so where he is moving on a wheelchair. Okay, and I started because I had quite forgotten that this most brilliant and completely paralyzed astrophysicist. Okay, what is astrophysicist? Yes, branch of astro means astronomy. Okay, the study of stars, and physicist means who has excelled in that calculation in the field of physics. He was an astrophysicist. So what field was Stephen Hawking working in as an astrophysicist? Speak out, Priyansh. What field Stephen Hawking was working in? Astrophysics. Please be attentive in the class. Okay, so he is working in the field of astrophysics. Okay, he is an astrophysicist, but he is working in the field of astrophysics, right? Okay, and he said, because I had quite forgotten that this most brilliant and completely paralyzed means his body was not able to move. How he is working only because he was affected by paralysis, and he was only working with the help of he is only moving with the help of wheelchair. The author of A Brief History of Time, one of the biggest bestsellers ever lived here. He has also written a book. Underline the name of the book. So which book he has? Guntas, you are talking. Okay. So he has also written a book. The name of the book was Brief History of Time. Okay. Brief History of Time. And this is one of the bestseller. Bestseller means the book which is selling like hotcakes. Hotcakes means people like that book very much. Many people learned it or read it. When the walking tour was done, I rushed to a phone booth and almost tearing the cord so it could reach me outside, phoned Stephen Hawking's house. So he said, when this walking tour was over, immediately I rushed into the phone booth, okay, which was on the way. And he said, while going there, I tearing the cord. Tearing means immediately dialing. I extended my hand immediately to get the cord because he was in hurry. Why? Because and where he has made a call to Stephen Hawking's house. Where he has made a call to Stephen Hawking's house. There was his assistant on the line, and I told him I had come in a wheelchair from India. Perhaps he thought I had propelled. Propelled means pushed with force. Note down the meaning of propelled. Propelled means pushed with force. It is pushed with force. You know where this word is mainly used? It is mainly used for rockets. When the rockets, they are propelled. Okay, they are forced. Okay, they are given a force to go into the space. So here it is used for that purpose. Okay, so there was an assistant on the phone, and I thought I had prepared myself all the way to write about my travels in Britain. He said, what he said, there was assistant on the line. So Stephen Hawking did not pick up the phone. Who picked up the phone? His assistant. And what he told that even I came on wheelchair from India in order to write something about my travels in Britain. Britain means England. When I go to England, to which people I met there. I had to see Professor Hawkins. Even 10 minutes would do. He said because he was very busy. Stephen Hawking. He's not appearing for interviews. This is the reason he said I was rushing for cord. He wanted to have even 10 minutes with him. You see how important his 10 minutes were. He said even 10 minutes would be fine. Half an hour, he said, from 3:30 to 4. Then the person on the other side, he said, okay, you will get half an hour to talk to him, 3:30 to 4. So now let us see what will happen when he went there. And suddenly I felt weak all over. Yes, why weak? Because he was excited also. He was feeling very happy that this great man is going to meet me. Now he's going to interview that great man. So what he said, and suddenly I felt weak all over. Growing up disabled, you get fed up with the people asking you to be brave. And if you have a courage account on which you are too lazy to draw a check. So what he's saying, give it to Pragati. What he's saying, and suddenly he said, because I was also disabled. Since childhood, people are always giving me lessons. Be courageous, be courageous. This is the thing which is common. When someone is weak, everyone is saying, don't worry, you will be brave. He said, I'm fed up of these kind of lessons. And ultimately, I have a courage account on which you are too lazy to draw a check. To draw a check means like he is considering his, you can say, courage as a bank account. He said that in spite of money, I have deposited lot of courage there. And every time I draw a check means withdraw some money in the form of courage. He said, but now, don't now. Okay, I don't want to have this courage again and again in my life. The only thing that makes you stronger is seeing somebody like you. He said, how one gets courage? It's only because when you see somebody like you. When you see somebody like you, only then you feel courageous. Then you will come to know, yes, this man is also like me. Okay? So, the only thing is that seeing like you and achieving something huge, then only you feel courageous, that you will draw inspiration from that man to be as great as that man. Okay, so how a person gets inspiration who is disabled? He gets inspiration when he sees a person like him only. When he sees a person like him only then he draws, you can say, only then he draws courage. Okay, otherwise he feels so tired in his life. So then you know how much is possible and you reach out further than you ever thought you could. When you draw inspiration from a real person, then you come to know, yes, it was really difficult for me for what I have done. But now if he can do, even I can do. It means you draw real inspiration from real life persons. Okay, how you draw inspiration from? How you draw inspiration from real life persons. Only real life persons will give you inspiration. Otherwise, he said, it's really very hard to draw inspiration from others. Yes, beta, stop that. What you are doing? You know afterwards. If you will not understand the chapter, it will be difficult for you. And Priyansh, you also. Okay? Then how you will do the question answers of this chapter? Okay? So now, I haven't been brave, said this, it is disembodied, yes, disembodied computer voice. The next afternoon, I have had no choice. So he said, I haven't been brave, said the disembodied computer voice. Disembodied means which is not in the form of a human being. Okay, so he said, I have never been brave. So when he has come to Stephen Hawking's, what voice, when he came to meet him, he said, no, I have never been brave. I was not brave. And the next afternoon, he said, I had no choice. The thing was that why he did so, he said, because I don't have any choice. When people have choice, then there occurs relaxation. कोई बात नहीं, मैं आज नहीं कल को, like today I collected the notebooks, you have the choice. If I'm not submitting, I will submit tomorrow and ma'am will agree. But suppose if it will be the last day before exam and this is the last checking, you will have choice with you? No, you won't have choice. Then what you would have done, you have completed the work by awaking late at night or by coming early in the morning. You must have submitted the notebook. It means the choices makes a person lazy. He said, no, I was not brave actually because I did not have any choice. So I had worked hard. Okay, please tell the class. Just tell them to be quiet. Okay. So surely I wanted to say living creatively with the reality of his disintegrating body was a choice. So what he said, surely I wanted to say being living creatively with the reality of his disintegrating body. Actually, what he said, very deep line. See, he said, actually, I had no choice, but I had choice in that with this body, okay, which is disintegrating means which is not in its proper form, okay, I have a choice to live a life in a dull manner or to live a life in a creative way, okay. But with this disintegrating body, he said I had one choice, either to live my life in a dull manner or to live creatively. So you must have seen this what message mostly, like there are two ways of looking at a problem. Okay, suppose this is a pencil, okay, complete pencil, you are doing a work, okay, and it has broken into two parts without lead. Then what will happen? Okay, so what you will do, you will try to sharpen it to get back to work. You will do this. It means that this is your choice, either to stop work here because my pencil is broken, or you will sharp it again to start the work again. Okay, it means there are two different type of persons who will stop their work on seeing the problem, or when they encounter any kind of problem they will stop there. Now I don't have any option in front of me, but the persons who are creative, who are actually want to do work, what they will do, they will see the situation, take the advantage of the situation. This is the choice he has, okay, because his body was not properly developed. So he had a choice, either to live life in a dull manner like any other human being, okay, who is broken down at that point, or he should live life in a creative manner that he has turned out to be an example for others. This is what he is saying, okay. So, but I kept quiet because I felt guilty every time I spoke to him, forcing him to respond. But he said at that time, he said, when he has given me this answer to live life creatively, he said, I did not speak anything, because he said, I was feeling guilty because he's not able to speak. How he is speaking? By pressing the buttons of the computer, and that computer is interpreting his voice, because he said, actually, I'm forcing him to speak. Okay, he said, this is the reason I did not speak much. Okay, there he was tapping at the little switch to his hand, trying to find the words on his computer with the only bit of movement left to him. So what he is doing, so here he is explaining how he is speaking. Underline it in your books. He is tapping on the computer button. On the computer, he is finding the words to speak. Okay, he is finding the words to speak, and when he is speaking, those words are pressed, those buttons are pressed, and this was the only movement his body was showing. Otherwise, he was lying on the wheelchair. Imagine a man sitting on the wheelchair. He's not moving, but only his hand is moving bit, okay, and he is speaking. How tough life is, okay. And see, this man has written a book, and this book was very successful. Is it possible? This is a miracle, of course. Extraordinary thing done by him. Okay, we people are not able to complete our routine work, and he is an example for normal people. This is again great thing on his path. So there he has tapping. Now every so often his eyes would shut in frustrated exhaustion. So every so often means every after some time his eyes close down. Why? Because he was tired also. Yes, he was frustrated, exhausted. Okay, yes, right? Okay, and sitting opposite him, I could feel his anguish, tiredness, the mind bind with thoughts. Bind with thoughts means many thoughts are moving in his mind. Many thoughts, imagine, okay, that his mind is filled with various thoughts. that came out in frozen phrases and sentences stiff as corpses. Now see here what a great comparison is made. Okay, that there are many thoughts in his mind. Okay, many thoughts, but they come out in frozen phrases. Frozen phrases means not complete phrases. Just you can say part of sentence. It means one other person has to interpret that completely. Frozen phrases. Lack of any, you can say, emotion. Frozen phrases, it is coming. Means his thoughts, they are coming in the form of frozen phrases and sentences stiff as corpses. Means devoid of any kind of emotion. What is asked, he is just answering. Like when we are speaking, see, when I'm speaking, the line I'm speaking, I'm adding that kind of emotion. When you look at my face, you can feel you can feel what I'm thinking in my mind. Okay, and you can feel that if I'm happy, you will see that happiness on my face. But that man who is not able to deliver any kind of expression, okay, when this man is not able to deliver any kind of expression, this is the reason why his words, they were corpses. Like corpse means dead body. Okay, and this is the reason they were as stiff. Stiff means without any feeling. Okay, so see the great comparison made. She's frozen phrases stiff as corpses. Now you got why they are stiff? Because they are without any kind of emotion and feeling. Okay, so a lot of people seem to think that disabled people are chronically unhappy. Chronically means for ages. Always. For ages, this has been believed that disabled people, they are not at all happy. This has always been believed. This is, yes, this is reality. This is reality of life. Okay, when we see this kind of child, the first word which we utter is bichara. Hai na? Something wrong with him. Okay, means this is the belief for many years, for many ages, that they are unhappy. Okay, I said, I know that's not true myself. Are you often laughing inside? Now he said this is the common expression of the people when they see such kind of man, that he is not happy, that he is unhappy. But he said, do you feel laughing inside? Inside means in your mind, do you laugh? Now you know laughing is also of different types. Sometimes you laugh outside when others laugh. But sometimes when you are happy deeply inside your heart, there is happiness here also. Okay, while you are sitting alone, you think for something, and when you feel satisfied, you feel happy here. This is laughing inside. Okay, so he said, about 3 minutes later, he responds. So to this question, he did not answer immediately. 3 minutes he took to answer. What he said, I find it amusing when people patronize me. So what he said, I feel. He said, when people take me as example, okay, then I feel happy. And do you find it annoying when someone like me comes and disturbs you in your work? And he said, do you also feel unhappy or irritated when someone like me comes and stops your work? So what he said, take me an example. So the answer flashed, yes. Then he smiled, his one way smile, and I knew without being sentimental or silly that I was looking at one of the most beautiful men in the world. So he said, with little bit of smile, he said, yes. See how true he is. He said, I feel disturbed. Okay. He said, yes. But at that time, he said, I felt the sentiments inside him. I come to know what kind of man he was. And at that time, I come to know that he is meeting the one of the most beautiful persons in the world. So what is actual beauty? Actual beauty is not skin deep. It is not the outer beauty. Actual beauty lies inside, deep inside our body, inside our heart. The way you behave, okay, the way you talk, the way you walk, it is actually what? This is actual beauty. A first glimpse of him is shocking because he's like a still photograph. So he said first glimpse. First glimpse means first look. When I have a first look to that man, what he said, I was just looking like what? I was just looking like, it was looking like shocking experience. Oh my God, this is the man. He was just like a still photograph without any emotion, without any expression on the face. Okay. As if all those pictures of him in magazines and newspapers have turned three-dimensional. So now it seems like when he has seen it, he said, when I look at him, I came to know that all the pictures of this man I was looking in pictures and magazines, now it is in reality in front of me. Because in pictures he was also shown emotionless, and this emotionless man is now coming to reality. 3D means picture turned into 3D means reality. Okay. So then you see the head twisted sideways into a slump. Okay, the torso shrunk inside the pale blue shirt. Now you see head twisted sideways into a slump means only with that support. He's moving his head move to the sides. And torso means this region. Neck and the head on which it is fixed. Okay, it is shrunk inside the pale blue shirt, and this region it is shrunk means it is bit, you can say, shrunk into that pale blue. Okay, so tomorrow we will continue it further. What is the meaning of recognize? To take an example of.